Hey guys, what's up? Today in the Book Lab we're going to be making some Prime Empire Unagami and Zane minifigures. So the sad truth is that we will probably never get a Prime Empire Zane minifigure, which is sad. But Unagami himself does come in a couple of sets. There is that giant Empire Temple of Madness, which is a little bit expensive, but he also does come in that cheaper Prime Empire Dragon set. So if you'd rather not make a custom, you can always just feel free to buy those sets using that link in the description and or the comments, wherever I put that thing. And it will help the channel out, and plus then you can go ahead and skip right over to the Prime Empire Zane part of this video. Alright, so let's start with Unagami, and he is actually going to be pretty easy to make. In fact, this Unagami uses one of the red visor torsos and legs, along with a Master Wu beard, the head from Mr. E from a couple Ninjago waves ago, and this hair from the Reinhardt minifigure. I mean, honestly, it's the easiest version of the minifigure, but we do have a couple other options. And of course, if you don't like the legs and you do want to add in that little black robe skirt type piece, there's a plain black one available in one of the Harry Potter sets from last year. It is a little plain in my opinion, and if I was doing this, I would pretty much just stick with the legs. But as far as it goes, this isn't a terrible look. And of course, if you want a more triangular beard, you could always use that Santa Claus beard. I feel like that's just a little bit goofy, so I'm not going to do that. Of course, if you don't like either of those options, you can also use this torso and leg combination, or torso and black slope combination, from the Laser Mech robot minifigure from Minifigure Series 15. Or if you don't like that, you could always use this combination, which is from the Nexonites, the last wave. You know, the color scheme doesn't really match the rest of the Prime Empire minifigures. They kind of have that black and red and blue, and this is kind of like a black and green and gray. But I feel like it's pretty cool and pretty menacing. And of course, if you don't like this hair design, you could also use the hair design for Teen Wu. It's got the same basic shape, basically that hair with the top knot. The only thing I don't like about it is that gold headband. It kind of throws the whole color scheme off. But if you don't like any of those options, you could also use this hairpiece, which comes from the Saruman minifigure from Lord of the Rings. It has a pretty wild look, and it doesn't really fit the whole in-game aesthetic, but as far as it goes, it's pretty cool and pretty menacing, and it doesn't look like it would be too far out of place in a building called the Temple of Madness. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at Zane. Now, Zane is actually pretty easy because the Prime Empire color scheme is white. So for his ninja hood, what I did was just use this hood, which is from Air Jitsu Zane. And of course, this minifigure is especially easy to make if you have some duplicates of the other ninjas from this Prime Empire wave. In fact, all you have to do is pull off that armor and the life bar, and maybe one of the faces from a spare ninja. This one is actually Lloyd's face. And the beautiful thing about it is that it doesn't matter whose face it is, because you can put it under the mask piece here, and boom! It could be any of the ninja, because their faces with these masks are all identical. And for the torso, my favorite one was this torso from Avengers Endgame. I have a ton of them lying around from last year, so you know, I thought I'd put it to good use. And of course, then all you have to do is plug this on, put on Zane's head, maybe plug in some color-appropriate swords, and you are good to go. And if you're wondering about the blaster, that's actually just a prototype that I found on Bricklink. Whenever LEGO tests a new mold, they'll inject it with a different color, just with a bright color like this, just to see how the mold is working, and just to see if there are any imperfections in it. And this is an actual official LEGO piece. It was just never officially distributed. You can tell because there is the little word LEGO printed there, and there is also a part ID number on the stock, which is something that knockoff pieces don't actually have. There's not much to it. That's pretty much just your little LEGO piece of trivia for the day. If you do want some other torso designs or head designs, you can always feel free to switch it up. LEGO City last year did have a couple of pretty neat torso designs there. You could also combine them with, like, say, one of the older Zane legs just for a more Ninjago-y look, or maybe even swap out those plain legs for some Stormtrooper-like legs, just whatever you want to do. And if you don't like the idea of having another ninja's face under this mask, you could also switch that up as well. You could always use Zane's pre-Ninjago movie face, this little face with the visor here. It's a shame we haven't seen it in a while, but it's a pretty cool face. Of course, if you don't like it, you could also use this Tony Stark face, which is a little goofy, but once you put on the visor, it actually looks pretty cool. It's maybe not a Zane face per se, but it could be cool for, say, maybe an avatar for one of the other ninja. Assuming they want to play as Iron Man, that is. But anyway, it looks pretty cool, and if you don't have a spare ninja, that's the face I would use. And as long as you don't take off Zane's helmet, it's perfect. But in any event, that wraps up our look at these two custom minifigures. So if you enjoyed it, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and do all that other good stuff. And of course, feel free to help support the channel by buying products through those links in the description below. It really helps me out, and you get more cool videos like this one. Unless you didn't like it, in which case, we'll make better videos using the profits from those sales. That's about it for today. I will see you guys next time.